Smell you, Noya. Let me just make sure that everything is working really quickly. Because things don't like to work for me sometimes. Just gotta make sure I can hear myself. Okay, everything looks good. Hello, everyone. It's nice to see a live stream again. It's been so long. My audio sounds a little bit better today, so it's not as bad as the last video that I did. But today we're going to be doing an art review. I have done more art recently, so I wanted to go ahead and share that with everybody. We have some new character designs. We have a chibi pixel art that I did. Well, we have two. One of them's a new one that's on this home screen. So this is the newest outfit of mine. I decided to draw myself a little bit more summery. I don't usually go out when it's super hot outside, so I was debating whether doing like a little cute swimsuit outfit or not. However, I decided to do so because I thought it would be cute. Also, I wanted my character to have a one-piece swimsuit. This swimsuit that I actually did with like these rips on the side is actually based off of a bathing suit that I had like years ago. And it had that. It just like pretty much gave me more room to get weird sunburns on my sides. Since I am very pale, I do burn really easily. However, I thought it was cute. It was really cute. So I decided to make my own with more of a amber color, some pretty more brownish flowers, because we all know my love for brown. Love the neutral colors. I actually asked my mom what tube color I should do, and she was the one who suggested this bright green. And I think it contrasts really well with the rest of me. I have very muted neutral tones, and even the gold, it has that brightness, but it's also pretty muted. So I think that the tube stands out really well for it. I'm showing myself splashing in some water. I'm ready to go float down a lazy river. So I wanted to do another pixel art of myself. I love learning how to draw new poses for pixel art. I love looking up different things to draw my chibis. So I really think that it turned out really cute. It is a little bit more difficult for me to draw like which direction my eyes are going since I don't have irises, but I think overall it turned out really cute. I really like the bathing suit. I really like how my character looks. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started with some new characters that I have made. So in my last art talk video, I talked about my dust bunny design. She's all cute. The chibi pixel art of her is my favorite still by far. But she has more of this vintage vibe. She has her really curly hair, just to like signify dust clumps. She has like more of a vintage bunny girl outfit. Not like the really sexy one, but the one piece, her high knee socks, her gloves, everything just like kind of gives off that like vintage bunny girl look. So this is how she looked originally, and I made her have pale skin. I'm used to drawing pale skin because I have pale skin, so it's just easier for me to see if it looks good or not. However, as I was looking at her and her lovely design, I was like, I don't know if this is exactly what I want for my dust bunny. She needed to look more dust-like, and I didn't want her to just be like someone who was trying to give off that dust bunny vibe or like cosplaying as a dust bunny. So I have redone her, and she now looks like this. So I wanted to make the skin more dust-like, so I wanted a more dustier, grayer, darker skin tone because she is a dust bunny, so she needs to have the dust aspect. I didn't want to get rid of that, so I decided to add that instead, and I think it looks much better, and she definitely gives off more of that dust bunny vibe because now all of her has that dust in within it. Um, Also, in terms of the design colors, I was going for a more vintage one in the old one, so I wanted like a vintage pop with like the purple and the gold. However, I wasn't really enjoying it. Um, I wanted colors that fit that more dusty vibe. So I just like hit my hand on the table, sorry. So I wanted like the clothes to fit that, the colors to fit that. Um, I wanted something that just really signified like a dust bunny. Um, and I wanted to see how different clothing would work on her. So there's a lot of aspects of the original design that are the same. We have the same gloves, we have the same high knee socks, we have the same original romper, and we even have the fanny pack still. But the fanny pack has changed and now has a really cute dust bunny on the front of it. So I'm really happy that I added that. I think it's really cute. And I really wanted something like that on there. And I like adore it so much. It looks so good. However, I wanted to see truly if the dust bunny concept could only work with revealing clothing, because she's like a clump of dust. Like showing more of the skin and things like that makes more sense. Dust collects everything that like it goes through, so I wanted to incorporate that more in like her skin and everything being able to pick that up. However, I also wanted to see if we were able to have more covering designs for her, just because like I like to draw all different types of designs, but like I really like modest clothing as well. I think that you can make it really cute. So there is a lot of revealingness to her. However, now she has like this cute, almost like nightgown looking thing that's on top of her romper, and I think it's so cute. I really, really, really love it. Um, I think like the sleepwear aspect of it fits like a dust bunny very well, like because they're just like sitting on the floor, collecting more dust, just kind of like resting there. They don't really move, so I think that the sleepwear thing was definitely a really, really good option for it. I've also really been in love with like this type of outfit, where like it doesn't like go all the way around, but it has like this cute little cape. So I just thought that it would be really adorable on her, and I just really, really, really loved it. Um, Another reason why I wanted to draw the dust bunny again is that I want to experiment with more hair types and move away from characters that are pale like myself. Um, I usually am only used to drawing like straight hair. It's really the only type of hair I know how to draw. But I really, really enjoy doing like this really curly, poofy hair. I love that I was able to come up with a character that got to use the like really poofy hair. I love that I was able to make it look like dust clumps. And overall, I just really, really, really love that I went with it because I don't think any other type of hair type would fit her. She just looks really cute. And I'm really glad that I went away from like the pale skin as well, because like the grayish skin tone is just really, really, really nice. Like, even if she had like a darker gray skin tone, it would be pretty as well. I just think it suits her very well. Um, and it's just really beautiful. So I'm really happy that I did it. And I'm hoping to have more characters that have different hair types and skin tones in the future. Um, and not even just like normal skin tones. Like I want to create more characters that have weird skin colors, like from all throughout the rainbow. Like there's just so many cool designs that you can come up with if you don't limit yourself. So I just want to keep doing that in the future. So hopefully we'll see more designs with cool things like that in the future or in future art talks. But another thing that I wanted to talk about is my process of redesigning characters I have made before. It really comes from me looking at a character that I really loved, that I drew a lot of, and then being like, I don't think that this is the best that it could be. I feel like we could do so much more with this design to make it what I want it to be, what my original intention was. So when it comes to that, I think about like, okay, what aspects of the design did I like and want to keep? And as we see, I did keep the things that I loved: the shoes, the socks, the romper, the fanny pack, the gloves, the hair. I kept all of those things. I did end up making the hair a little bit more poofier and having more of that like dust clump type of design. So overall, it's taking the things that I loved, making things that I originally liked but want to make better, and then also overall making the concept of the character something that I wanted. Um, so definitely like this one a lot. Um, I think this concept's great. Um, and another thing that I do when I'm redesigning characters, and I'm trying to see if I like the new design more than the old design, I don't only like to just compare like the two um, just like characters that I made in like their standard pose. I also like to go and do the pixel art that I did. So all of us know that I really love the chibi pixel bunny that I did of the first design. So I decided to do another one. And look at how cute she is. So I wanted to do something very out of the ordinary for this one. I didn't want it to just be a standard design. I wanted to do something more. So obviously I wanted to do the pixel art in chibis. This is my favorite type of drawing to do. I love pixel art a lot. I love drawing chibis within the pixel art style. It's just easier for me to do poses, but also it's just so much fun. I just really love it. I love how pixel art looks, and I love learning how to draw more of it, and drawing my characters in this style. But I am absolutely in love with this chibi as well. So I just really like to see this stuff. I mean, I can't really say much more about it except that this style is what I love. Um, and I just fall more and more in love with the character when I draw them like this. Um, and I always like to see how the characters look in different styles. If I don't like a character in my favorite art style, then they're not. Then something obviously needs to change with the character to make me like them more. So that's one way that I figure it out. But I like learning how to draw more poses as well. I'm not really good with human anatomy. However, I really do like drawing chibi poses. So I have gone ahead and have been learning how to do more poses. Like you can find like all different sorts of chibi poses online. I look at Pinterest mostly for like just like chibi anatomy like ideas. I never like truly copy them. Like I like to mix different poses together to make cute things like this. So she has her little pinwheel and she's blowing bubbles, and I love it. I've actually never drawn a bubble before or like colored a bubble before. So I'm actually really happy with how the bubbles turned out. I think they're really cute. Um, Instead of making them more clear, they're kind of more like the bubbles from SpongeBob, which I feel like I love more. All those chemically colors need to be in there, but I think it's so cute. And then I couldn't decide on a pinwheel color, so I was like, why not just make it a rainbow pinwheel? And I think it adds like a nice bright contrast because this character definitely has muted colors. I wanted muted colors because I thought it would suit the dust more, and I just have been absolutely loving sage green lately. And I think that a contrast is nice with her like the bunny red eyes. I usually don't put green and red together because like it reminds me of Christmas, and then I just like can't get that like out of my head. Um, However, I really loved the contrast when I was doing this. I tried a bunch of different colors. I even did like a more dusty mauve color, um, but the sage green just stuck. I really liked the idea of revitalization, how there is life, even in things that you wouldn't think there is originally. A dust bunny just seems like something that's on the floor, but there's so much life in this character, so I really like adding colors that have meaning to designs, and also give them more of a pop. I also love doing fun poses with what seems with like more reserved characters, like especially with more muted tones used for characters, there's going to be like this feeling that they themselves are muted, more reserved, quiet, things like that are shown with color. So when you're able to take a character and show that, like, hey, even though I give off these like shy, reserved vibes, I can actually be like a lot of fun. And I love showing that with characters because I feel like when you meet someone and they have like that aspect of them that they don't seem like a very fun person, they just seem like really quiet, reserved, um, like they don't want to do much or they don't seem like they do much. Um, I like to show that, like, hey, like, even though, like, around people you may be quiet, reserved, that you can actually be, like, a really fun person or have a lot of fun interests or love to do a lot of things. So I wanted to show that with her because she is definitely a fun dust bunny that does everything that she wants to do. She plays with the things that she wants to play with, and we get to see that here. So I really, really love that. Um, I also just really love to see how I can make clothes flow differently. Clothing is definitely something that is hard for me. It's definitely much easier to shade clothing when it comes to pixel art. Um, However, I just love seeing the clothes differently because, like, I draw a lot of character designs, so the clothes are always shown from the front. But I always want to explore with how clothing would look from different sides of the body. So I do that a lot with my pixel art and my chibi poses after I create a cute character, because then from there I can really see how flexible the design is, and how it works when the characters are doing different things. So overall, I really love the new design for the chibi. I think she looks so good. Um, Love remaking my designs, love falling in love with the design all over again. And I just truly love the Dust Bunny concept. She really represents like things that are forgotten or things that people think are ugly, um, or like need to be thrown away. But instead, she has so much life to her. She's really cute. She really shows that there's a lot more in the things that are forgotten or the things we take advantage of, um, or like don't really think about. So I really love the Dust Bunny design. I really love just the concept of a dust bunny. So I really love her and she's really cute. So yeah, let me take a sip of water before we move on to the next character design. It's fun to talk about my designs, um, but I'm also not used to talking this much. Like, naturally, I'm very more quiet and reserved. Um, but I get really passionate when I discuss my art. So I'm not really used to talking like I do. So I always feel like I'm out of breath. But I guess that's good. It's good to talk more. So, so this is my next design. And it's very interesting because it's not something that you would think to see when you see a plague doctor mask or just a character like this in general. So, fun fact about me, I love plague doctors. Um, it came mostly when I was in a like disease class. Um, and I've like always thought like plague doctors were cool. I mean, like those people put in a lot of work. Um, they tried to save many lives during the bubonic plague and things like that. So not only were these people trying to save others while also trying to protect themselves as much as possible, but I just overall just love the design of the masks. Um, I love the more covering outfits. I just think it's so cool that they just like look the way they do, and they're so captivating even though they don't show much. So I just really love them. I've actually like gotten into them like a lot. There's actually like these plushes that they sell of like a male plague doctor and a female one. And they can come with like different outfits. The plushes that I have is actually like their Halloween version, but it kind of looks like they're married, and I really loved it, so I got it. But they have other ones. There's a toothpaste one that they have of the male version, and he looks so cute. I didn't get him because the one that was at the store that I saw him at, he kind of felt, I don't know, oily. I don't know how to explain it. He didn't feel clean. So I didn't really want to touch him or like take him with me. I could have washed him, obviously, but like at the same time, I like didn't need to get another one because they are kind of expensive. And like if I buy one, then I'm gonna want to buy more because they also had a Sakura version of the or cherry blossom version of the female one, and that one's really cute as well. So I just like had to keep myself from like buying them all. But I do love them a lot. And I wanted to make my own plague doctor design. So that is what I did. Except instead of focusing on black, I wanted to put colors that normally don't like naturally suit the plague doctor vibe. I did keep like the original like black or like ivory color that you see when people draw plague doctors. If people like make female plague doctors, most of the time they use ivory instead of black, and I really love that. So I still wanted to incorporate the original colors, but I wanted something different as well. Um, as we discussed with the sage green earlier, it represents like revitalization, life, just pretty much rebirth, growing, all of those types of things. So this character is actually much deeper than just being like a plague doctor. In fact, she's not even a plague doctor at all. She's actually someone who is hiding themselves and is a person who is taken over by shadows. So she has that aspect of her. Right now she covers herself. However, there may be a time in the future where she reveals herself. Um, it really just shows how people will avoid those who are different, like the plague. So I wanted to add the plague mask. And then like the green, the sage green, and the amber yellow are used to show how you end up making your own light, and finding for yourself that you are more than what people say you are. So I wanted to show that with the colors, and I just think it looks really beautiful. It also gives off that like autumn vibe, or kind of like more spring, I guess. But I really loved it, so I really wanted to do that. I also have a huge love for lanterns. They're just beautiful. There's so many different types of lantern designs, and I love the way that the light showcases itself from the lanterns. So I wanted to add them. I added different types, and I just thought it was beautiful. Vintage lanterns have the amber glow, which is why I chose the amber yellow. I didn't want to make like a strong orange, but I really liked how it turned out. It looks really good, so I'm very happy with it. Color is very important when I make a character, so I always try to think about colors that will work for what I want the character to represent. So she gives that finding your own light in the darkness, and maybe I will show what she looks like underneath. But I really love this outfit that I made. Like, I really love these overalls. I love the shirt. I love the cute little top, the boots, the gloves, the mask, like the hair. Everything about this character I'm just like madly in love with. I absolutely adore her. I'm happy I made her. And I actually made another version of her as well. And that is the partial mask, because I wanted to show part of the shadow aspect that I was talking about. So I made the partial mask one because, like, she's a character that's overtaken by shadows. Like, they are a part of her now. However, she's fully covered, so you can't ever see that aspect of her. And one of the things that I knew I wanted to do was for her to have black sclera. And that is because when you are in a dark place, when you are having bad thoughts, it really changes your outlook, how you see things. So I wanted to show that it affected her eyes, and how she will see things in the future. How you see how others act, how you see people's pain. That is all shown in the ways of the things that you have been through. So I wanted the eyes to showcase that. And with things like this, I wanted to go over like how I come up with character designs. I really think about like what I'm feeling and what I want to represent in my characters. I don't just want it to be like, oh, I made a cute character that's like based on something random. I always want it to have a special meaning. I want them to have a deeper meaning to themselves. I don't want them to be a flaccid character. I want them to be something greater. I want them to be something that people can connect to on a deeper and emotional level. And I just love to be different. You see a lot of designs that are used often because people like them, because they're popular. But I don't really care about following the norm or being popular. I want to make things unique and cool. So that's why I come up with these character designs. And it's also why I use colors outside the norm for a character type. Because there's so much more that you can do with the type of character you want to draw than what you see normally. So I really love how she turned out. She's really pretty. And I hope y'all like her a lot. Okay. So I've shown a lot of these designs. I'm going to take a quick talking break so I don't lose all my breath. So we can just beautifully view all these designs real quick, and then I'll go into them. I need to train myself to talk more. Or like ways to save my breath. I feel like I talk in my head more than I talk out loud, which is fair. It'd be like that. Okay, so I wanted to showcase my original mole and virus designs. This is my first ever virus design. This is my first ever mole design. Here are some renditions of them. Just to see what I like the best, or if there's things, that I can do that would make me like them better. And I like every single one of them. Some of them have similar things. Some of them are more different. Some of them have completely different outfits. And that's just because these two concepts are things that I really love. Moles are my favorite animal. I love moles. They're so cute. They dig in the dirt with their little claws. They're just everything. I love all the colors of them. And then I love the idea of a virus as a character. It is definitely hard to draw. Like there's so many renditions I've made already, in terms of colors and everything. Um, but I just love the concept. This one's giving Scooby-Doo bus vibes, um, which I noticed after I finished drawing her. I kind of like it though, but yeah, this shows the type of designs that I love. And I keep drawing these two, just like over and over and over again. So I decided, why not combine them? So there has been times where I have drawn characters based off of one idea, and then I'm like, wouldn't it be cool to merge them because I like them both so much? So the Plague Doctor design that we saw, it was Plague Doctors and Lanterns. I like both of those, so I combined them, and I have drawn them separately. So I wanted to do the same with the moles and the viruses, and I think she's cute. I definitely liked that I went with like a skin tight suit, um, with like the design and everything. I also knew from the beginning that I wanted to use acid green, so I did, and I found another color, this more minty color, that I think went the best with it. I tried so many different colors with the acid green, but the more minty color was what I liked. Also, I really liked how both of them went with the different types of browns that I did. So yeah, I like the pop of color with the neutral brown. Um, Brown is based off of a warm color. It's a darker version of orange, and then we got the cool colors from the green and the mint. So they contrast well, and I really like them. Um, but yeah, if I like two character designs a lot, sometimes I'll be like, oh yeah, I want to mix them and see how they turn out from there. So that is what I did. I kept the same virus symbol in the eyes. I did make my own virus symbol because I didn't want to keep copying like the Apple virus emoji. Um, so I made like a more concise version of it with different eyes and a different mouth. So I think it's cute. Um, and so yeah, it's mostly mint and then has the acid green, and then for me, I have mostly the acid green and then the mint. So I think it's cute. I added those colors in the hair as well, just to add a pop of color, and I think it's beautiful. In terms of bright colors on characters, um, I know that sometimes we see me go like fully with bright colors or fully with neutral and muted colors. Um, for me, the contrast is good between muted and bright colors, like especially with this. But when I'm coming up with a design, I either want one side of the spectrum or the other. So I either like go really bright or I go really muted. And then I'll add like certain pops of color, but it won't be like too much. But it's different with this one. I wanted something different. It's also been a while since I drew a jacket, so I drew that on the character. um, but I don't typically use bright colors in my character designs just because I feel like after you look at them for a very long time, your eyes will start to hurt. um, and I don't like my eyes to hurt much at all. I like my eyes to not hurt when I'm looking at a character. And like when you think about if like a character would be used for like streaming or like for a channel, and people are like looking at this character a lot, very highlighter like colors might be too much. Um, but I don't know. I like the bright pop of color for a virus. I think it's very needed for it, to really show like that caution or danger that comes from them. So that's why I like to do it like that. But other than that, I don't usually use like very bright colors often, especially not highlighter colors. Like you'll never usually catch me using like a highlighter color because I don't particularly like them. With brighter colors, I usually like to use pastels because those are my favorite brighter type of colors. So, moving on to the next thing is that I discussed this a little bit in terms of the Plague Doctor character, but I don't like to follow the norms for character types. If I want to make a character, I don't want it to make the same as what everybody else wants. I want it to be what I want, or like the weird ideas that I come up with, because I come up with a lot of weird ideas. I'm not gonna lie, there's some characters that I make you that you would be like, hello? Like, why would you make that? Like, who would want who would want that design, or like, why that type of character? And it's just because like I have like a very broad imagination. I'm like just always thinking of new random weird things. And I'm like, why don't I make a character out of that? So that's exactly what I do. And it's just so much fun to do so. I don't think that you should always like try to confine yourself to what you think that other people want. You should do what you want to do. If you have like a unique, cool, quirky idea, and you want to do it, draw it, do it, make a cool, quirky idea. Like some of the best character designs come from like people using their unique ideas and putting it on paper. And then people become captivated by them and they're like, wow, I've never seen this before. I really like that. I want to watch it or look at it more. And that's what I strive for. I want to do things that are abnormal, things that people haven't thought about, and I don't know, maybe even make a new character norm. Like, so many people like the design so much they want to make their own version. Like, oh, I made a mole virus. Oh, I want to make another mole virus. Or I think I would like it to look like this instead. That's the type of things that I strive for. I get so much inspiration from so many unique designs that I see. And like my mind comes together that's like, oh, what if I combined this? Or what if I combined that? And it's not only just with character design, it's with anything. If I'm looking at something and I see a cool nail design, I'm like, ooh, what if I did that on an outfit? Or I see a type of outfit design that I like, and I'm like, ooh, what if I mix these two types of outfits? And so that's what I do. uh, so many things can give you inspiration. So many things could be a cool character. Even concepts. There's a lot of things that are very difficult to think out and draw if they're too broad or too unique. Um, there's also that worry that if you come up with something that's based on something too specific, that people won't get it, or they'll be like, what is that? And sometimes what is that is a good question, because then they look deeper into it and they're like, oh, like I've never seen something like that before, that's so cool. But other times they're just like, I don't understand it. So I guess you got to be very intentional with your design when what it's trying to showcase. So that's why I do icons sometimes, like with the dust bunny and with the virus. There's icons. That way you can have like a little piece of what it is, because there's going to be a lot of uniqueness in a design. But if you have that one factor that lets you know what it is, then that's how you do it. Glasses for a mole because they have like really tiny black eyes. They don't see. Oh my goodness, my cat scared me. Hi, Brule. It can scare you. It can, like my cat. Yep, moles are blind. Gave her glasses. Um, they use their sense of touch to mostly get through everything. They have claws. I added long nails, the mole tail. There's always gotta be, they don't have ears like that show. So you add like cool designs for the hair that give like an ear-like vibe to take over for it. Things like that. Easy to move in outfits, gloves to go through the dirt, boots. You gotta just have different things that like show different parts of the character. But icons are very important for things that are like harder to show in designs. So like for the virus, I make sure that I have a virus icon that shows that she is a virus. That icon is everywhere, but not too much. But it's there in different aspects of her. So if someone saw the different parts, they'd be like, oh, that's that virus character. Um, or if they're like, oh, like with the Dust Bunny character, what is that? Like, they may be like, oh, is that a Dust Bunny? And then you see the fanny pack and you see the Dust Bunny icon on it, and then you're like, oh, that's 100% a Dust Bunny. And that's where people can have a greater connection with what you draw or a greater understanding of what you draw. So that's why I draw them. I'm not really the best at creating icons. The Dust Bunny was like the best one I came up with, and it's just because I really love floppy-eared bunnies, and I really love really fluffy, fuzzy bunnies. So I took off of that, and then also like I think the apple virus emoji might be like my favorite emoji of all time. So aspects of my virus design do come from that, but obviously I changed it to make it unique because we don't copy. We take ideas and we make it our own. So I don't make icons often. Um, I've been trying to make more like where my characters have like what the fans would look like, because you know, like with a lot of like VTubers and things like that, which I love to watch, their fans have their own cute little design. So I start drawing those as well, just so you could see what the fans would look like as well, or like just in general like an icon. So it could be icon, it could be fans, um, and then you get to come up with like a bunch of new cool things of like, oh, this is what you are in comparison to me, and I love doing that. There's actually a new character that I am drawing that is based off of a reptile, specific type of reptile. Um, and the fans that I made are another type of reptile. However, like they don't really naturally go together, so their designs is what connects them. So it's just very interesting when you think about how things can go together. For example, like if you're a bird, you're an avian, you're in the skies, in the trees, and then your fans could be like land dwellers. Um, and then from there, together, you're able to take over more of the world. You give each other your experiences and things like that. So you can come up with like a lot of really cool things for icons or fan designs. And things don't actually like absolutely have to be like, oh yeah, since I'm this, you have to be this, or you have to be like something like super close to me. It could be a lot of things. So, and then lastly, because I never actually discussed it before, but how did I come to start drawing a bunch of character designs? And why do I do it a lot? Ever since I was little, actually, my dad got me into anime. And I like fell in love with character design from that. From that day forward, I was in love with character design. I would draw like I called them dolls at the time. I would draw dolls all the time, and I was actually really in love with like Monster High dolls too when I was younger. I still have some of the old ones that I had, and I keep them. And they just like are on display on my desk. But like different unique character designs, like I love them, and it made me want to make my own characters too. And so even though I used to make like original very boxy designs, um, that's just how it would be. um, so I would do those all the time. My grandma loved them. She would put like all of them on the fridge, even though they looked horrendous, because I was just learning. But she loved them so much, and she's like, "You should make me more." And then that's when I started thinking of more characters, more colors I could use. How can I make this one different from the last? Um, and as I learned how to draw better, that came more and more. And then I got interested in different types of clothing or different types of hairstyles, different types of concepts, different types of ways to draw the eyes and the face. I'm still bad at drawing shoes. These boots are okay. Um, but I started loving it more and more. And then I just kept doing it. And I kept thinking of new designs. I kept thinking of what was something unique. How can I make a cool character? And for a long time when I was younger, I wanted to be a manga artist. Um, I was like, I want to make characters. I want to make these new designs. I want to make things that people fall in love with. Um, so I didn't become a manga artist. However, I still do draw all the time. So I really do love it. There's a lot of places that I can improve in my art. Um, but overall, I will always love character design. I will always love making characters. I will always love creating lore. I make lore for all my characters as well. I love to write. I love how to have different aspects of them. This specifically, mole virus. Why did I put them together? Because a mole is also someone who can be seen as a spy from like their organization giving information to another organization. And then a virus is something that completely takes over your computer, is unknown. Both of them affect you greatly. Um, so together, they just make sense. Um, so yeah, I just continue to make character designs. I continue to make the lore. This specific virus is a virus that protects um, characters that I make that are deadly if they're just in their natural form. So I like made like a plague doctor that covers herself because her herself became complete poison due to testing different things on her to see if she could come up with a cure for the plague. And she ended up becoming immortal and poisonous herself to others. So she covers herself, wears the plague doctor mask and everything. But when she finally decides to reveal herself, when she takes off those pieces, when she no longer keeps herself embodied as this poison, then when she is able to like take off those things, the virus, that code will protect her from harming others. So things like that um, is how I come up with lore for characters. I think about how my characters can connect to my other characters. It becomes like a whole universe. But yes, I really do love to write. Um, I don't like to just make a character and they make no sense. I like to have a character that has like an in-depth meaning to them. Um, and like when someone asks like, why did you make that character? I'll be like, oh, because I thought about this. This is the world building that I did. This is their lore. Um, and then you can really build out from there. Um, so especially with this character, really loved that. With my other characters, I do it as well. Every time I do an art talk, we just talk about like the deep, in-depth designs that I do, um, the things that I love to draw, the different concepts that are very weird but come from my mind, and I just like let them free. We see all of that, um, and I hope y'all enjoy that. I hope y'all enjoy seeing like the different, cool, funky designs that I come up with. I really like them. I love showing them to y'all. I love talking about them. Um, and I love that I have a space where I can be passionate about that and share that with all of y'all. Um, and if y'all have any cool character designs that you like to draw, or if you're like, oh, I wish I could draw, or I have this cool character design but I haven't seen it, like if y'all have like cool designs or like concepts that y'all have thought of, please feel free to share them with me. Because a lot of things give me inspiration. Um, if you really like one of my designs, please let me know in the comments because I like to hear that as well. Overall, I want to be a person that brings inspiration to others, but also so y'all can see a bunch of cool designs and not be afraid to make your own cool, quirky, weird designs, just because they're not like within the norms. So overall, I hope that y'all have enjoyed this art talk stream. I'm sorry that it has been so long since I've streamed. My mic has been horrible. Right now I'm using my headphone mic, so hopefully this doesn't sound too bad, and if it does, then I deeply apologize. Um, but I do really love doing this. I love streaming. I love showing all of like the things, like whether it's drawing or my song covers, poetry readings, all those things. I love sharing those with y'all, and I hope y'all enjoy them as well. Thank y'all so much for watching, and I hope y'all have a wonderful day/night. Bye bye, everyone.